What's good? Osiris here. Stuck in the middle. I'm going to keep the show name Stuck in the Middle. The channel, though, is Middle Maga, and that's the website. I have my uncensored Rumble videos up there. Right now, I've got the Ye first breakdown of the Ye interview uncensored on middlemaga.com. You don't even have to go to Rumble. Thanks for joining. When I look at a person, I look to see what their principles are. So Elon Musk, this is not going to be a Ye video. If you're Ye'd out, Ye's going to come up, but this video is not about Ye. It's about the process of which Elon Musk. So Elon Musk took over Twitter, and then now he has, it looks like a different process for censorship. Are we better or worse? That's what this video is about. Ye will be brought up by Elon, but I'm not talking about Ye in this video, just in case people are, he jumped the shark, just in case people are tired of it. So I look at somebody and I say, what are their principles? When times are tough, do they even try to stay as close to their principles as possible? I think you've got to stay to your principles. Destiny was on with, I forget her name. She's a great YouTuber with Blaze, I believe. And she was talking to Destiny about the procedure. You know, you get that shot in your arm. And she was like, man, yeah, if there was some type of illness that wiped out 50% of people in the world, then of course we would have to do mandatory. No.
As far as it's go, yeah, I think I was against and still am against, but I think with everybody, there's a line, you know, like if there was a virus that was going around and it was killing, you know, 1/10 of the people that it encountered, I think we would all start having conversations about and
that's unconstitutional. If there's some type of disease that wipes out about 50% of people in the world, then everybody would want to get it. You don't need to mandate it. My point is, it doesn't matter how dire the straits are. I don't care if you're in the middle of war. You stay to the principles of the Constitution. And I look at Elon Musk. I'm going to play a clip here. His principles are warped. The only principle that he looks to be staying to is to trying to make both people on both sides mad at him. And my question for that is, number one, that's not a principle. That's just your belief, because who labels if somebody's on one side or the other? Let me play the clip for you. The reason why I got to this video was from this upload from Sidebar, who made me think about it. Sidebar says, I sure hope Twitter isn't going to turn into a cheering board for Elon. I hope so as well. I like Matt Taibbi, but Matt Taibbi is releasing these Twitter files. He gave them to Barry Weiss as well. You need to have some heat for Elon as well. That's a different video. I'm not going to sidetrack too much, but I'm not going to be up here cheering for, if you follow the channel, I have spoken very highly of Elon. I'm not changing that, but when criticism needs to be levied, it will be brought to you, bruh. This here is cringe beyond belief. And Elon's a very smart person. So now I have to wonder, why are you playing games like this? People were so mad about Ye trolling and playing games, which I'm not for. He did trolling to a level that I'm not going to defend or go with. But this is as bad or worse to me. So that's the part with the Ye conversation. I always bring it back because it's just so weird. But here's the clip. Thank you for Elon alerts. I'm going to play the clip clean and then react to it bit by bit.
For you then. Given the past few days over Ye and what we're talking about, the freedom of expression, and people want to ask hard questions. So we've had one side where we've now seen you freeze his account again, but now you're releasing information that, you know, about the freedom of expression. So how are you going to balance the level to which we speak about the freedom of expression on Twitter?
Yeah, well, I think,
if that makes sense.
Sure. With Kanye, it's obviously a difficult subject, but that was a case where it was like, where that was my decision. But I think it's important that people know, okay, that was my decision, because at a certain point you have to say, what is incitement to violence? Because that is against the law in the U.S. You can't just have form a club, let's go someone club. That's not actually legal. So the question is, what is incitement to violence? And I think, posting is in what is obviously not a, good way, is an incitement to violence. I personally wanted to punch Kanye, so that was definitely inciting me to violence. Anyway, that's not cool.
Just to hang on, but you mentioned in a good way.
Well, no, it's just that like it could
sense.
Be like an analysis of the Second World War or something. That's a history drama, or whatever.
It's contextual.
Yeah,
right?
it's like okay, like let's a battlefield or something, and that's got so some sort of war history thing. I don't know, something like that. Then that would be okay, but.
It has to be contextual. I mean, if he's posting it in a way that is trying to rally people to anti-views, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it can also say okay, well, let's look for added context outside of Twitter to say well, was this meant in a friendly way? And it's like, okay, well, no, he's saying that he likes and other things. And look at the point at which Alex Jones is like telling Kanye to calm down and please stop. You have to say, okay, Alex Jones is pretty edgy. So Alex Jones is saying Kanye wants Kanye to stop. That's a big deal. So anyway, but I don't want to get into like some sort of huge this could easily get derailed into a laborious.
Agreed. Yeah, we should talk more about the files. So.
Oh yeah. Let's talk more about the files because you didn't want to test Elon. At the end, he's like, let's move on to the files because everybody on that call that was a Twitter space, everybody there knew that was cringe as hell. Let me go back. It takes me everything. I've heard that many times. It takes me everything not to just stop it in the middle. Let me go back to this here and refute this. This is absolutely absurd. Let me play this back.
We've now seen you freeze his account again, but now you're releasing information that, about the freedom of expression.
So the question here is, you're talking about all this freedom of expression, but then you just banned Ye. What's your reasoning for banning Ye then?
So how are you going to balance the level to which
It's a soft question. How are you going to balance the question isn't about how you're going to balance it. It's not consistent. I'm looking at you talking about freedom of expression and you banned Ye, and I'm going to go into the details here, but that's not consistent with your theme of freedom of expression. So do you want to reword that? I'm not asking you about a balance because I know factually you're not consistent. We know that about what you did with AJ too, Alex.
Speak about the freedom of expression on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I think
if that makes sense.
Sure. With Kanye, it's obviously a difficult subject.
No, it's not difficult. That's why you have the Constitution. It's not difficult at all. Don't tell me it's difficult. It's difficult for people. Your rights are difficult when you disagree with the person. That's the difficult part. Your part's not difficult. He didn't even come close to breaking any laws. So the difficult part is, how do you create a platform for people who don't want to see it to prevent them from seeing it? Let me rephrase that. That's off. How do you give people the tools to prevent them from seeing it if they don't want to see it? He shouldn't be the one preventing people from seeing it. His challenge is, how do I engineer this so people don't see something they don't want to see? And from a business standpoint, you don't want them off, because if people are sensitive, I don't blame you if you're sensitive to it. I'm not, but I don't blame you if you're sensitive to, and it wasn't a swastika. Factually, it was not a swastika. So, but if you are sensitive, whatever the case, then I understand from a business standpoint, I don't want people to leave my platform because they're seeing something that's triggering them or getting them off. That's the difficult part. The difficult part is he didn't come close to breaking any laws, so I'm not taking it down. The difficult part is, how do I prevent people from leaving my platform if they see something they don't want to see?
Correct. But that was a case where it was like, where that was my decision. But I think it's
Okay, so we're coming down to, and I know people don't agree with this or whatever, but just because the government tells me that Twitter is a private platform doesn't mean I'm going to believe it's a private platform. The government also tells me that a transformer from male to female is a woman and you should call them a woman. So that's fine, and I will, just to not piss you off. I'm not for misgendering, but my point is that just because the government has it designated Twitter as a public space doesn't mean it's not a public utility or a public space. So I'm treating it as a public space. I don't care if you do or not. The censorship is coming down to who? One man. That's a problem.
important that people know, okay, that was my decision.
I don't care. So, I mean, I guess it's nice that you told me that, but okay, what am I supposed to do with that? Now that you told me that, here's my reply. It's BS. That's my reply.
Because at a certain point, you have to say, what is incitement to violence? Because that is against the law in the U.S.
He pulled it down based on this incitement to violence, and he says it is against the law. Incitement to violence is against the law. Okay, I agree. What does that have to do with what Ye posted? He didn't post anything that said, hey, go do this.
You can't just have form a club, let's go someone club.
What does that have to do with Ye? He never said anything close to that, on or off the platform, and we'll get to off the platform in a second.
That's not actually legal. So,
are you saying that I would? So I would take notes while he's talking, and then we're gonna have to break this down, bro. We're not going on to something else. You brought up incitement to violence is illegal. What does that have to do with Kanye's post? Because obviously it wasn't illegal.
The question is, what is incitement to violence? And I think, posting is in what is obviously not.
That's factually incorrect.
Not a, good way.
You don't know that. He said peace. He said peace speech with it. He didn't put any cause to violence or cause to action or anything. None on Twitter. What do you mean, obviously not in a good way? Because he's trolling? So trolling is basically very similar to what Babylon B does, your boys. It's satire, basically. So yeah, is Ye trolling? Yeah, I think he's trolling. Okay. That's what Twitter is. It's on a level that I'm not supporting, but I will support his right to.
Obviously not a, good way.
It's not obvious. That's not obvious.
It's an incitement to violence. I personally wanted to punch Kanye, so that was definitely inciting me to violence.
What the I wanted to punch Kanye. This is not about Kanye. He posted something, and because you're an unhinged soy boy, that's how censorship works now? Because you wanted to punch him? Did you want to punch him because he was threatening your advertisers? Not actually threatening, but advertisers might pull out, like Apple just jumped back in, Amazon jumped back in over $100 million spending with ads. We don't have a First Amendment anymore. We have adherence to the government or these big corporations that they should have never been able to have this monopoly. These are the same corporations that were open during the pandemic while other people were closed. Then the businesses that closed got the PPP loans. Then they forgave the loans. And then now Brandon and the government saying, oh, look, you took the PPP loans. This is bigger than Ye. This MFer just said, I made the decision. Why did I make the decision? Because I wanted to punch him. This is bigger than the Twitter files release. We're in a worse position than we were before. I'm sorry. I mean, that's not a position to be in. Because I said something, because I called you a soft-bellied fat ass, and you want to punch me, that's the censorship laws now? Or the rule, that's your principled approach to censorship? I wanted to punch Johnny. I wanted to punch him. That definitely incited me to violence. What that means is it doesn't mean anything else other than that.
So anyway, that's not cool.
Just to hang on, but you mentioned in a good way.
Well, no, it's just that like
Just to make
it could be
sense.
like an analysis of the Second World War or something. You
Oh,
know? That's a
so we decide that you have free speech if you're doing an analysis that Elon Musk agrees with. If you're doing some type of historical analysis. Yeah. So if I feel like I want to punch somebody, then if I have the power, then that's incitement to violence. You do realize that's the same thing that the T group does with Matt Walsh, Libs of TikTok, and you and Nick Rekieta and everybody else, right? You do realize that that's a Tifa would agree with that completely. Remember when the mandates came down, Tifa was out there in the streets for the government for the mandates for the muzzles and the boop boop in your shoulders. And if you said, nah, I'm good. If you want to do it, that's fine. If you said, nah, I'm good, Tifa felt like they wanted to punch you in the face. And that's the same principle that he's using here. Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss, I mean, I'm not going to do this hive mind mentality like other people out here saying, you're a PR for E. I'm not going to say that. But I am going to say I'm waiting to hear some legitimate criticism. This is nonsense. This is dangerous. This is worse, if not equal to or worse than what we had before. I'm blown away at how incompetent this is. And this brother right here is one of the smartest to ever do it. So my question is, there is nothing that I know that he doesn't know. My question for E is, why are you looking me dead in the face, figuratively, and lying to me? We saw the red flag when he said, I'm banning Alex Jones because my kid died at 10 weeks. What? What? You don't even run a business like that. Much less, principled approach. He's the one trying to sell freedom of expression.
history drama, whatever,
It's contextual.
Yeah,
right?
it's like okay, like let's a battlefield or something, and that's good. So some sort of war history thing. I don't know, something like that. Then that would be okay. But
it has to be contextual. I mean, if he's posting it in a way that is
see this person leading it is not testing Elon. He's trying to smooth. He knows Elon's beyond the pale right now. He's trying to help Elon. And that's exactly what Sidebar posted. Like, wait a second. Why are we over here on our knees sucking this dude's banana? That won't be me, okay? Y'all can go on his knees and do whatever on your knees, get your knee pads, do your Kamala, do your best Kamala impression. That won't be me.
trying to rally people to anti-Semitism,
where did he do that? Okay, which tweets did he do that in, E? It certainly wasn't the one that you said was when it wasn't, and you banned him for. He didn't do it in that. There's no tweet that he did that in. He's trying to take the interview off topic to, and I'm going to do this here because I'm going to upload it on YouTube. I'm going to say, if you feel that those are hurtful comments, I am not against you, and I do not support Kanye trying to troll in a way to hurt people. That's not godlike to me. But I'm not going to say he loses his free speech for not being godlike. We got a lot of people who ain't godlike out here.
It's like you can also say okay, well, let's look for added context outside of Twitter to say well, was this meant in a friendly way? And it's like, okay, well, no, he's saying that he likes and other things. And look at the point at which Alex is like telling Kanye to calm down and please stop. You have to say, okay, well, Alex Jones is pretty edgy.
Well, number one, Alex Jones never said that. He never said, please stop. And number two, that's irrelevant. Number three, he just said, I'm looking. This is the same thing they do on Discord. They're doing it on Patreon, PayPal. If you do something outside of the business agreement that we have, then it's then we can do whatever here. We can censor you and do all this. So now we're talking about something that didn't even happen on Twitter, and we're talking about something where I don't even agree with your interpretation of what happened off of Twitter. Where are we going now? Like, why do we even have? Don't even talk. Just say, you know what? I'm going to end with this. I'm not playing at the end of it anyway. I would respect it more. I would still attack it, and as far as verbally attack Elon and all this. But I would have more respect if E would have just been like, I did it because I wanted to. That's why. That's all you gotta say. I don't need all this other lying and all this other BS. Just say I did it because I could. Now what? Next question. What are you gonna say? I wouldn't be doing. I planned this to be like a 2-minute video. I guess I had a lot on my chest to get out. It wouldn't have been this long of a video. But anyway, let's grift to the end. Mega man, get it on the website. Got t-shirts, sweaters. Like I said, uncensored on Rumble. I'm so glad my devs got the little link so I can put Rumble videos on it. So when I do a Rumble only video, stay tuned to the channel, get notifications. I'm gonna put it in the community tab when I do a Rumble only video or uncensored version like this one. This one will go up on Rumble first. It will be uncensored, and then you're gonna hear the hey and all the other stuff here on YouTube. But however you consume the product, and if you get to this point in the video, my wife's like, who's listening to you ramble for more than 2 minutes? I'm like, people who I'm grateful for. Take care.
Hey, baby. Hey.